This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 715 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Find them online at kppusa.com. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Megan Ayrault. Megan is a licensed massage practitioner for animals and people and a professional educator with a master's in teaching degree from Seattle University. You might say she wrote the book on horse massage, and it's titled The Horse Lover's Guide to Massage. Today's tip is all about withers. But first, let's hear from today's sponsor.
Hi, Glenn the Geek here from the Horse Radio Network, and I'm here with Karen from Kentucky Performance Products. We're going to talk about omega fatty acids in equine nutrition.
Called Contribute. That is it's a combination of fish oil and flax oil. And it provides a complete complement of omega-3s. Okay. It has an 8-to-1 ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s, and it contains the plant and marine sources of omega-3s. Now, there's been some palatability issues with fish oil. I don't know if you've ever smelled some of the fish oils that are lots of horses will run to the back of their stall and just stand there going, oh, my right. God, Mom, what did you put in my feed?
Some of the human pills are like that, too.
Ooh, yeah, you can really taste it. So we did a lot of research with our product, and we got a fish oil that just on its own smelled pretty good, and then we've added some flavor, some cherry flavor to it that has made it very palatable. So we have very few horses turning it down. And like anything, you have to introduce it slowly, and should introduce it slowly anyway to the horse. But we have very few horses that will turn it down.
Well, that's terrific. It's good to learn. I never knew about the ratio between the 3s and the 6s. And, of course, you can find out more information on Kentucky Performance Products' new website. Has a terrific article on this, and we'll link to that in our show notes as well as on our Facebook page. Or you could just go to kppusa.com to find out more about omega fatty acids and the Contribute product. Just look under products.
And once again, we are joined by animal massage therapist and author Megan Ayrault, who is here to enlighten us about how to help our pets, including our horses, feel better through massage. What have you got for us today, Megan?
Well, I thought I'd just share a couple techniques on what I call, and I think I think I'm not the only one, called the Whither pocket. Sometimes, hopefully it's not too much of a pocket. That's one of the points I want to bring up.
We have slash pockets, back pockets, flap pockets, and wither pockets. Okay, tell all of us out there who aren't very clever what a wither pocket is.
Well, the withers, of course, is where more or less where the front of the saddle goes. Mm-hmm. So top of the shoulders. I mean, it's actually part of the horse's spine. But the wither pocket is that hollow area behind the withers. And that's, where the front of the saddle does hopefully fit well and appropriately into that wither pocket. But one of the points of what I wanted to talk about today is that, of course, this area should be filled with muscle, even if your horse isn't super fit. So you don't want that pocket area to be too hollowed out. That can be partly a sign of lack of muscling, but it's also often, in many cases, a sign of poor saddle fit, because the muscles are actually being basically compressed and pinched too much, and they atrophy. Not only do they atrophy, but they even can become more fibrous and essentially develop scar tissue.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good at all.
No, but it makes it, it's certainly a wonderful place for massage, and it also, if your horse is tender in that area, and if the tenderness is not just, any time we're exercising and working out and getting more fit and, challenging our muscles, we might have some appropriate soreness. But if it's not that kind of soreness, or isn't really explained by that situation for your horse. If you're finding tenderness there, or especially if you're actually feeling any scar tissue, let alone, obviously, if you see something in the skin, a sore, then that tells you something right off the bat. And there's another interesting point I'll make in a second about that, actually. But if you are finding tenderness in that wither pocket area that's not explained by, expected muscle soreness from the workout, then, you really should be taking a pretty close look at your saddle fit, because that's one indicator of poor saddle fit.
Okay.
At least one place among others that the saddle might not be fitting properly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then so the point I wanted to make, so the soreness, a sore in the skin, of course, is very obvious, and most horse people recognize that as a sign of a saddle problem. But one thing that I learned, and I don't, I'm interested, someday I maybe would like to find out why this is, because I have a hard time imagining it, but I learned originally from one vet, and I have heard it confirmed by other vets as well, that when you have a sore develop from pressure spot, like from a saddle sore,
Mm-hmm.
the damage is actually happening down by the bone first, and it works its way out to the skin. So by the time you see a saddle sore visible in the horse's skin, there's been a lot of damage going on that's gone quite. So that's kind of, I first learned about it from Dr. Carrie Ridgway,
Mm-hmm.
who has some great online resources with involving saddle fit, among other topics that he teaches.
That's very interesting. I've never heard of that before. I'm very aware of saddle sores and have had experience over the years with animals that have developed saddle sores and other. But that's a very good point, because the saddle sore type of saddle sore we're talking about is a pressure sore, in that you're going to see it on a bony surface versus a chafe mark that you're going to see like a girth gall would be. That's a chafe mark from loose skin. But that's very interesting, and it's a good point. When you think about it, it kind of makes sense that there's been pressure put against get the sore, because the skin has been murdered from lack of circulation. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you would have surface bone damage, if not deeper than surface damage there.
Yeah.
Fascinating topic,
This can apply even to where there is muscle over the bone.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So we've got wither pockets on our horse, and we've got some soreness there that, maybe our saddle didn't fit particularly well. Mm-hmm. What's the next step?
But it also it's primarily the trapezius muscle that's there. So if your saddle is fitting well, it's still a great place to massage, because the trapezius muscle, and there's other muscles deeper to the trapezius in that area, muscles that run along the spine. The trapezius connects the spine to the shoulder blade.
Ah. Oh,
but there's also muscles connecting vertebrae to vertebrae running along the spine that are under the trapezius also. So it's a great area to massage.
Yeah, I would suspect then that the trapezius muscle is involved with moving the shoulders. So if you have a horse who is tight through his shoulders, or sometimes people say the horse is locked up in his shoulders, a little unwilling to lengthen, or a little unwilling to tuck those knees up good and tight, he's going to he may very well have some discomfort there that is associated with the trapezius muscle. So how does one massage that area? Because I know from previous tips, Megan, all massage is not equal. There are different things that you have to do to different places.
Unfortunately, there's so many options. They're practically infinite. So,
well, that's easy for you to say. You're a massage therapist. It's give us some hints for us amateurs.
Okay. Well, now one thing I'll just mention is that we did do an earlier tip, so they can go back to my previous tip. So I did one on the Whither rock. Mm-hmm. So that's a great one for the area. But just for massaging the area, the three body parts I use to massage it are the heel of my hand, just to do compressions into the muscle tissue there. Mm-hmm. And then also sometimes I'll use finger pads. If I'm using my finger pads, I try to make sure, first of all, of course, if you have long fingernails, that might not work for you, because what you don't want to do is hyperextend your own finger joints and then and then push into your horse, because that's not good for your finger joints.
Oh.
You want to be able to keep a gentle curve in your finger.
Okay.
Or keep them straight,
Mm-hmm.
or slightly curved as if you were going to close your hand, not hyperextended, backwards.
Oh, okay. So don't do that high school freak out your friends thing and make your fingers turn
Right.
inside out. That's bad when you're
Exactly.
doing massage. Got it.
Right.
I can envision that. Got it.
But if you're protecting your joints, you can use your finger pads to either do compressions like you do with the heel of your hand, or you can also do kind of a gliding stroke where you just slide, and you can pick any direction. You can go, from the horse's back towards the horse's tail from the front end. You can, or you can go the other direction up towards their ears through this whole wither area, or you can go from the ribs up towards the top of the back.
Oh, so not only we have the options of using different parts of the hand, but different directional things too. Oh, very interesting. Yeah. So you're right. There is a lot of options there. Now, this is just gently off topic a little bit, but I can't help myself. Now the question just disappeared. Okay, when you're doing this kind of work, there are a lot of horses out there who are hypersensitive about having their back touched. It's very common amongst racehorses and ex-racehorses. They're just, don't touch me there. And of course, we're going to rule out that the horse is hypersensitive because there's a medical issue. We're going to assume that is not the case. What would you recommend you start with? Because you just want to massage that horse's wither pocket area just as a supportive therapy, not because there's a problem that we know about, but we want to offer that horse supportive therapy, and he's a very sensitive horse. Which type of hand movement, which part of your hand would you recommend starting with for the horse?
Actually, often if the horses are real sensitive about touch, which usually does indicate some sort of a problem, not necessarily a medical problem, but something that could be better from my perspective as a massage therapist. If they're not comfortable being touched, then there's some kind of either, like you say, hypersensitivity, but that by definition means they're a little too sensitive. So there could be a lot of reasons for that. But if they are hypersensitive in an area, I find the back of my hand is often much more easily accepted by them. And that's actually another one that does work well in the wither pocket area just fine. And for that area, that's usually going to be at either chest height or higher for us. So if you make just a loose fist with your hand, and if you imagine that you're, say, standing on your horse's left side, and if you were using your right hand, your palm would be kind of facing towards the horse's head maybe a bit, except with your fingers closed gently. And with that position, and you can kind of hopefully keep your wrist fairly straight this way so that it's easy on your wrist. You can use the knuckles that are at the base of your, like, ring finger, pinky finger, and then maybe, depending on your hand, maybe also your middle finger, but those 2 or 3 knuckles at the base of your fingers. You can use those to either do the compressions or the strokes through that wither pocket area too.
Oh, that's kind of a comfortable. I'm doing some air massage on my imaginary horse here in front of me.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very comfortable position for my hand as well.
Yeah. And your fingers don't have to work hard. And yeah, for some reason, a lot of times when horses are, amped up about being touched with the palm surface of your hand or your fingers, if you use the back of your hand, they often find that easier to accept, especially at first. And then once you start the touch process and start them relaxing, then a lot of times you can turn your hand over to use other techniques if you want.
Well, that's great advice. And you can do both sides of the horse. Your hands will be happy and your horse will be happy. That's great. Well, thank you very much, Megan. For folks who are finding this conversation fascinating, like I am, where can they learn more about you and perhaps even invest in your book?
Oh, well, actually, since I last talked to you, I do have my book now available as an ebook version.
How cool.
So Yeah, so they can, and I don't even have it on my website yet, actually. They can, of course, go to my website, which is all about animal massage. I also, if they sign up as an email member, they will get information about the ebook and my intro package that includes the ebook, or it includes the ebook edition of my printed book. But I also have that introductory package, which is 3 ebooks and a video lesson, is actually going to be a bonus, a free bonus, with a coupon purchase of one of my online classes, which is called Back Care Basics for Horses.
Now that's a good class. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to put a coupon for that in this the horse coupon book, which a lot of people, I hope they've heard about it by now, but I'm sure there are many who haven't yet. But the horse coupon book is coming out. The edition that I know about right now is coming out the day after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to have a coupon in there for Back Care Basics for Horses, so it'll be a discount on the class, plus they would get, the ebook version of my book, among other things, as a bonus.
That's almost too much to grasp. This is like when you get the Harry and David catalog in the mail, and you flip to the back page, and they have the ginormous tower of fruit and candy, which consists of 35 different little boxes of goodies. What you have just described here is the giant tower of massage goodies that not only would be a great thing to get for yourself, but what an awesome gift idea.
Well, and actually one of the bonuses, the coupon in the coupon book doesn't expire until whenever the coupon book expires, but which I don't know how long they have that set up even. But I have one bonus that will expire December 12th, which is that you can get, if you get the class, you can add a friend for free.
Well, there you go. You can. That would be so cool. And then you can stand around the water cooler and chat about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even
do your,
better.
Practice your massage in the air, just like you were practicing.
Yes, I have to practice on the air because it's evening time here, and Beaker is sound asleep. So I'll have to practice the Withers one tomorrow because he's on his autumn fitness regime right now. And he's getting a little stiff and creaky. So these are great pointers for me and Beaker and great pointers for our audience at large. And I want to say thank you once again to Megan for stopping by. Everybody stop by. All About Animal Massage. It's easy to spell. And check out all the great stuff she's got for you and for gift giving.
I do have a Facebook page also, and there's a link. If they don't know where the horse coupon book is, there's a link on my All About Animal Massage Facebook page.
Yeah, and if I remember right, if you just Google horse coupon book, it comes up.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you just Google it and there it is.
Yeah, good.
Thanks a lot, Megan. We'll see you next time.
Okay, see you.
Well, there you go. To listen to all of Megan's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the experts drop-down menu on the left. And don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's tip has been brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Ask for Kentucky Performance Products like Contribute at your local tack and feed supplier, or you can purchase online at kppusa.com. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like to hear us cover on the show. You can subscribe to all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. You can also listen to the shows right on Facebook. The player's right there every day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.